Hi, I'm Gary Engler, your socialist grandfather. In the last episode, I began talking about how capitalism destroyed different forms of commons everywhere it went. This is important because during most of sudden great change in human history, people have been motivated by rights that were lost, insisting that they be returned. To accomplish the great change necessary today, we must demand that which requires social labor be recognized for what it is, the common property of all. Let us rebuild these ways of thinking, the social relations, as well as the rights and responsibilities that were lost when our commons were enclosed. The term that best describes what we would be fighting for is economic democracy. Every commons was an economic democracy. The term also helps explain a key flaw in our current so called democracy. Power flows from control of the economy, which under capitalism is owned by a tiny minority. The most successful social movements in the past 2 centuries have all pushed for an expansion of democracy. The fight for economic democracy would be a continuation of these movements. Yet, what does the actual left in most parts of the world do? Call for tinkering around the edges of the system rather than confront its fatal flaw, reform it rather than challenge it. The left once had a grand vision of something called socialism that inspired billions of people. But once in power, socialists either compromised with capitalism or declared themselves a vanguard who would run the economy and then later compromised with capitalism. It's time to face the facts. Capitalism is the current form of a system of minority rule, of which there have been many over the centuries. If there's any meaning to the terms left and right, it is that one justifies and defends minority rule while the other supports real democracy. The left lost sight of this, lost its way on the winding road to a world governed by the most important union principle of all. What we desire for ourselves, we will fight for all. Capitalism seduced too many of us into believing it was the best we could ever achieve. It is not. In fact, it is now a barrier to building a better world. Even worse, neoliberal capitalism, using the increasing power of computers, is becoming the most powerful form of minority rule to be inflicted on human society. Technology has developed in a way that will allow fewer and fewer important people to manage and control ever more ordinary people. And that's where capitalism is headed. Economic democracy is the logical rallying cry for all those who oppose minority rule and believe in one person, one vote systems of power. Unions and their political parties need to push for economic democracy to rebuild our commons. This would not be a break with the past. In fact, it would return the working class to past purposes. In every corner of the capitalist world, unions and left wing political parties were born in the struggle to expand democracy and oppose minority rule. It was a mistake for unions and left political parties to accept capitalism. This needs to be corrected.